Without realizing it, my kids have tutored me on how to integrate faith and learning in ways I could never have imagined. This book might create the impression that my kids are obsessed with issues of faith. That's only because I've condensed here so many of our theological conversations. The truth is that they are pretty balanced kids who spend most of their time riding their bikes, playing in the yard, and building Lego fortresses. However, whenever Amy and I see an opening for some theological discussion, we dive right in. Sometimes we land in the deep well of our kids' hearts, gaining insights into their perspectives on life and God. Other times we hit dry land. This is true of everyone, not just kids. I hope that you walk away from this book seeing that you don't have to be an academic to have meaningful conversations about theology. As one might expect in a project like this, I took the liberty of embellishing dialogue. Our conversations with the kids tend to veer off into random directions, so that to transcribe them directly would have made this book a linguistic maze. In at least one instance, I invented an entire dialogue in order to discuss some issues that needed to be addressed. But all of the events described are true, and the conversations are faithful to our kids' personalities and our family dynamic. Regarding accuracy, my main concern was doctrinal, to be faithful to Scripture, especially where contemporary ideas, both within and outside the church, have strayed from orthodoxy. Most of the creedal points, like the existence and nature of God, the virgin birth, and the divinity of Jesus Christ, are discussed, but so are many doctrinally peripheral issues, some of which will highlight the reasonableness of Christianity, and some of which are just fun. But all of it, I hope, will encourage readers in the faith. Chapter 1. What is God like? One afternoon, I sat in the backyard listening to the Chicago Cubs on the radio and watching my son Bailey dig for unknown treasures in the sandbox. The sky was sunny, the Cubs were leading, and all seemed right with the world. Little did I know that I was about to be thrown a curveball. The curve came not from a major league pitcher, but from somewhere much more challenging. The mouth of my 6-year-old. Dad, what is God like? With that simple question began an adventure. I leaned back in my chair, preparing to spout eloquently. Good question, Bailey, I said. I had taught philosophy for 20 years, published many books and articles on philosophical topics, and addressed challenging philosophical questions from bright undergrads. But as I searched the mental file for an answer, I realized that never before had I faced such a daunting task as answering my son's straightforward query. That's a really good question. The fruit of all my years of studying and teaching philosophy and theology seemed to evaporate. I had no good answer. What is God like? I repeated slowly, making my son's question my own. One of the best question askers in history was Socrates. His inspiration came one day when the oracle at Delphi declared him to be the wisest man in Athens. Socrates didn't buy it. He went out to disprove the oracle by randomly interviewing his fellow Athenians to find someone wiser than himself. He did so by asking simple questions. What is knowledge? What is goodness? What is beauty? To his dismay, Socrates discovered that while everyone he interviewed claimed to know the answers to these questions, none of them really did. He was the only one who recognized his own ignorance. Hence came his famous assertion, "All I know is that I know nothing." It is wiser to know you don't know than to think you know when in fact you don't.